Hey, welcome back to this special series. So here's next question of this series, and as always, I'm just getting aside, and I will be counting 5 in the reverse, and that's your time. You are supposed to pause your video or take a screenshot, whatever way you wish, but you are to solve the question on your own first, right? And after that, we shall solve it together. And your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go! Here I am back. Okay, so let's see how you have been able to solve it. I'm sure many of you must have already solved it. If yes, then congratulations, you are on the right track. And if not, don't worry, you will learn now how to solve these kind of questions. See, so it says if a cube is equal to 1 and a is not equal to 1. See, if a would have been equal to 1, that would satisfy, right? So a is not equal to 1, that has been mentioned. यानी कि a 1 के अलावा कुछ और number है, a is something else other than 1 which satisfy this equation, right? Okay, that is one thing, and that's it. That's the information. Now question is asking about what is the value of 1 plus a square a cube a4 up to a power 80. Now first remember, understand this thing. This means all the terms in between also, right? So it is not possible and it is not wise also to write all the terms a power 5, a power 6, a power 7, a power 8, a power 9, a power 10, a power 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's not necessary to write. So you should understand this meaning, right? And most of you, I'm sure you already understand this. It goes up to a power 60. But why I'm telling this? Because I've seen this. I was having a training program conducted by CBSE for some CBSE school teachers. And there I gave a certain question like that where they were supposed to add certain numbers till a large number in thousands. So I think 2025, 1, 2, 3 up to 2025, something like that. I asked a question to them and I wrote, I put this dot in between because it was not practical to write all the 2025 numbers, right? So to my amazement, some of the school teachers returned the answer by just working on the written numbers. They omitted that dot part. Right? So I was amazed, madam, how it could be possible teachers can do that. So if teachers can do that, why can't the students in front of me? It is possible. That's why I'm pointing it out. So always understand that. So when it is mentioned in a pattern like that and there are some dots here, so it means this pattern continues till this last term, right? That is a very small thing, but it is an important thing. Okay, so let's come back. So we are supposed to find the value of this expression here, and this is given part. Okay, let's try to identify what we can determine with this given part. By the way, there are various ways we can answer this question. One way could be that you take it as a GP and you can find the sum of the GP. That is also one of the ways, right? Should we do that? What is the harm? Let's do that. Let's do that also. There are various ways. I will tell you all the different ways possible. So let's first make use of the GP. So this is a GP of 61 terms, right? Where 1 is the first term and A is the common ratio, right? If you are familiar with that, so sum of n terms of a GP is given by A into r raised to power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1, where r is the common ratio. This all the terms have the normal meanings. The n is the number of terms, s is the sum of those n terms, a is the first term, r is the common ratio, n is the number of terms. Fine. Okay, so applying it in this case, so sum of 61 terms, right? There are 61 terms here. So sum of 61 terms of this AP should be equal to how much? A, the first term here is 1, common ratio r, here in this case it is A only, right? And number of terms we have already seen, it is 61 terms. Achha, some of you might wonder, sir, ye 61 kaise aaya? Are baba, A power 1, A power 2, A power 3, say A power 60. So these are the 60 terms, right? Right? And we have this first term also, right? 1, which is A power 0 in a way, right? So they are total 61 terms. Small counting में small error mat karo yaar, sahi karo. So this is A raised to power 61 because the common ratio here is A, R is A here, minus 1 divided by R minus 1, R is A only, so it is A minus 1. Fine, I hope it is okay. There is no difficulty. There should not be any difficulty. So I think we are done, right? We are almost done. Nothing to be done because just using the sum of n terms of a geometric progression, using just this formula, we have got the answer. How? Because a cube is equal to 1. If a cube is equal to 1, so if I raise it to power 20, can you tell me what will be the result? Yes, it is a power 60. That will be equal to 1 only, because 1 when multiplied with itself any number of times, it is going to remain 1 only, isn't it? Simple. So a power 60 is 1, but here we are having a power 61. So की फर्क पैंदा है यार? A power 61 you can write as a power 60 multiplied with a, isn't it? And a power 60, just we have figured out it is 1 only. So putting this value here, so 1 into a is nothing but a, right? So a power 61 minus 1 actually becomes this 1, yeah, this 1 no need to write, this is a power 61 is a only, so this is a minus 1 divided by a minus 1. And because a is not equal to 1, which means a minus 1 is not equal to 0, so we can straightforward cancel them to get our answer, so which comes out to be 1. So basically this required sum, let me write this word s only for this, so this sum comes out to be 1. That's it, we got our answer, isn't it? Isn't it simple? Right? Okay, that was one of the ways. Okay, let's look for alternate ways. Let's look for some alternate way also. As I told you, let's not do the sum of the series. Let's try to see the meaning of this part. When a is not equal to 1, so a cube equal to 1. So what does it mean? So a की 1 के अलावा और क्या value हो सकती है? Let's try to identify that. So when we say a cube equals to 1, it means a cube minus 1 equals to 0. Yes or no? Yes. And now you must be familiar with the identity of a cube minus b cube, right? It is a minus 1 into a square plus ab plus b square. So in this case, b is 1 only. So this basically becomes a minus 1 multiplied with a square plus a plus 1 in that order. Okay? And that is equal to 0. Now because it is product of two terms that is equal to 0, it means at least one of them must be 0. दोनों 0 हो ये भी हो सकता है, but कम से कम एक को तो 0 होना पड़ेगा. One of them must be 0 for sure. But this first term is not 0 because a is not equal to 1. So this would have been 0 if a comes out to be 1, which is not the case because it is clearly mentioned that a is not equal to 1, right? So this term is not 0, which confirms that the second term, that is a square plus a plus 1, this is certainly 0. Is this point clear to everyone? Of course, yes, right? Okay, now just using this property in this expression, right? Let's just use of this property, make use of this property in this expression. So what we can do, we can group three terms together, right? We can group 3 consecutive terms together, and every time we can take out something common so that we are left with this a square plus a plus 1 or 1 plus a plus a square, right? It's very easy to see here. Let me rewrite it quickly. So this first one I'm keeping aside, and by the way, we can pair any 3 consecutive terms. Always you are going to get this expression, right? If you take first 3 terms, then also this is 1 plus a square. If you leave this first one, if you take these 3 consecutive terms, you can take a common, right? Taking a common, so it will be 1 plus a square only, right? So basically taking any 3 consecutive terms, you are going to left with the same expression, which is 0, right? So what I'm doing here right now is I'm keeping this one aside, and in the next 3 terms, let me write, this is a square, a cube, fine. And same with the next 3 terms, they have to be a4, a5, a6, and so on. I'm sure you are able to see the pattern why we are doing this, why I'm doing like this, because keeping this first term aside, then I'm left with 60 terms, and making pairs of 3 terms, they are groups of 3 terms. I'll be having 20 pairs. In the last pair would be ending with a power 60, right? So I'm just again using this dots. You understand the meaning of this? That means this pattern is getting continued, and the last term is going to be a power 58 and then 59 and finally 60. ठीक है? So we are getting this sum, let me call it S or whatever. So this after this first one, we are having this 60 such groups, and from each group let's take something common. So 1, and in this second is in this group I can take out a common. So taking a common, it is 1 plus a square, isn't it? Which is 0. So this entire terms becomes 0. Okay, let's move further to the next group here. So I can take out a power 4 common here. So the moment I take a power 4 common, it is going to be 1 plus a square, which is again 0, isn't it? We already talked about this. So this term also becomes 0, right? And same way, every term is going to become 0, isn't it? And finally, the last term, if I take a power 58 common, so again, I'm going to left with the same expression, 1 plus a square, which is again equal to 0. So basically, after this first one, every term is going to become 0. So answer is clearly 1, right? we already figured out it by using GP formula as well. So there are alternate ways, there are different ways, and it's entirely up to you at which method you go with. But in my opinion, you should be comfortable and familiar with all the different ways possible. Thank you very much.